Hello everyone. So in this lecture I am going to explain you what is transaction management. We are going to learn step by step so how important transaction management and what is the purpose of transaction management and what are all the problems are available in transaction management and how those problems are going to resolve in transaction management. We are going to learn in-depth concept of transaction management. So most of the people are having confusion on transaction management, and also if you don't understand each and every concept in transaction management, the basic concept, without understanding those, so you cannot understand transaction management. Okay, so if you want to understand transaction management, you should learn the basics of transaction management. So in this lecture I am going to explain in very simple what is transaction management. We'll go step by step. So if I explain everything all together in one lecture, so you guys will get confused and most of the people also will get confused. So what I will do, so we'll go step by step. Each and every video I will create each and every concept separate video so that you can understand transaction management very cleanly and very properly. Okay, so let's assume in this lecture you just learn what is transaction management, and in second video I will explain what are all the properties available in transaction management and how it is important and what is the purpose of transaction management. And next, another lecture I will explain you what are all the problems or occurred, or what are the possibilities of problems may occur in transaction management and how we are going to resolve those problems in transaction management. So if you learn these all three concepts, you guys will become a master in transaction management. Okay, so let me talk about what is transaction. Okay, so in real time environment or in real world, so most of the people are ordering online food, right, in Swiggy or Zomato, or in ordering in Flipkart, or ordering in Amazon, or and transferring amount from one bank account to another bank accounts, and any database operation, if you are inserting employee details in database, or if you are reading employee details from database, so any real time example you can take. So this kind of all examples we can call it as a transaction. So let me tell you one simple example here. So let's talk about fund transfer. Okay, so we have two bank accounts, Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. So as part in first step, what I'm in first example, what I'm going to explain. So we are in transaction one, we are depositing 100 rupees to Rohit Sharma. Let's assume we are depositing 100 rupees to Rohit Sharma. So then Rohit Sharma bank balance will be 100 rupees. So this is nothing but one single transaction. Similarly, in we are in second step, so we are trying to debit 50 rupees from Virat Kohli. So let's say Virat Kohli also having 100 rupees initial account, in initial amount. Okay, so in we are debiting 50 rupees from Virat Kohli. So then what is the total amount of Virat Kohli's bank balance? So then it will be 50 rupees. So this is also nothing but one transaction. So whatever operations we are performing in database or in your bank account is nothing but one transaction. So depositing 100 rupees to Rohit Sharma is one transaction, and debiting 50 rupees from Virat Kohli's bank account is nothing but one transaction. And so in real world, so let's assume these both are individual transaction. So these both are individual transaction. In real world, a transaction can contain multiple database operations as well. So nothing but one as we can execute multiple database operations as part of one single transaction. So here this is one single transaction, and here second step will be another single transaction. So both are individual transactions. So let's take in second example which is showing here. So let's take one single transaction may have multiple database operations. Okay, so in this example, uh, in as part of single transaction we have two steps. So step 1, depositing 100 rupees to Rohit Sharma's account and debiting 50 rupees from Virat Kohli. So both are under one single transaction. Okay, let's assume both are under one single transaction. So let's assume one success scenario. So in step 1, as part of single transaction, in step 1, we are depositing 100 rupees to Rohit Sharma's account. So initially Rohit Sharma's account is having 100. So after depositing 100 rupees, so Rohit Sharma bank balance will be 200 and Virat Kohli's bank balance will be 100 only. Okay, so as part of single transaction, in step 1 we just deposit 100 rupees to Rohit Sharma and Rohit Sharma's bank balance will be 200. And in as part of single transaction, step 2, we are debiting 50 rupees from Rohit Sharma, sorry, Virat Kohli. So that time Virat Kohli's bank balance will be 50 rupees because we are debiting from Rohit Sharma. So both steps are both database operation together one single transaction. So if 100 rupees are credited to Rohit Sharma's account, and 50 rupees are debited from Virat Kohli's accounts. Let's assume both transactions are successful. So that time Rohit Sharma also will happy and Virat Kohli also will happy. As part of single transaction, both the steps are successful. Let's assume both the steps are successful. Now, as part of same single transaction, depositing 100 rupees to Rohit Sharma is successful. Let's assume step 2, debiting 50 rupees from Rohit Sharma is failed. Let's assume Rohit Sharma debiting 50 rupees from Virat Kohli's account is failed. Let's assume it is failed. So then Virat Kohli's account is having 100 rupees only. So this time second step is failed and first step is success. So whole all together what we can call it is inconsistent transaction, because so as part of single transaction we have to perform two database operations. So if you think about real world, so both the operation database operation should be successful or both the database operation should be fail. So it should be like that. So we can this concept we can call it as a transaction management. Okay, so whenever we're talking about transaction, so when any example you can take, guys. Okay, not only database operation, either single database operation or multiple database operations. So as part of single transaction, so if you are performing any database operations, either two transactions or either three transaction or one transaction, so whenever you're performing all or one single transaction, either the transaction should be success or all transactions should be failed. So this is nothing but transaction management. So but here what is the problem? So in first case, in first scenario, transaction is successful. In second scenario, as part of single transaction, Virat Kohli's account is failed. Let's assume it is failed. So that time this transaction will be inconsistent, right? So how we are going to resolve this issue as part of Spring Framework or Spring Transaction Management? So that is the purpose. In previous example, I have declared at the rate transactional annotations, right? So if you declare all whatever database operations you are going to perform as part of single method, so if you declare with at the rate transactional annotation, so if you performing two database operations, so both should be fail or both should be success. So how we are going to resolve that with the help of at the rate transactional annotation. So if you specify at the rate transaction annotation whenever you are performing database operations as part of single transaction, either uh, both the transactions should be successful or both the transactions should be failed. If you don't specify at the rate transactional let's assume if you don't specify at the rate transactional annotation, so what will happen? So in this example, if you don't specify without transactional annotation, as part of single transaction, if you don't specify at the rate transactional annotation, what will happen? It might be Rohit Sharma transaction will be success and Virat Kohli's transaction may fail, or both the transaction is successful. So that time if it both success, then well and good. So if it is one is success and another is fail, and Virat Kohli's account is Virat Kohli's deposit is debit transaction will be failed, then Rohit Sharma will be happy. If Rohit Sharma's deposit is fail and Virat Kohli is success, then Virat Kohli is happy. So this kind of transactions we have to handle manually by specifying at the rate transactional annotation. So either both the transactions should be fail or both the transactions should be successful if you specify at the rate transactional annotation. If you don't specify at the rate transactional annotation, then there is a there might be both the transaction will be successful or one will be success and another will be fail, so that this will be invalid transaction, right? As part of single transaction, one transaction will be success and step 1 is success, step 2 is fail, or step 2 is success or step 1 is fail. So that time the transaction is invalid, right? So when we are trying to do two operations as part of single transaction, whether both should be succeeded or both should be fail, so then it will be well and good. So if it is one is success, another is fail, and another is success and this one is fail, so then it will be invalid transaction. So let's assume I will tell you one real time example. So that will I will discuss later. So now you got the concept, right? So how important it is transaction management and at the rate transactional annotation. So the purpose of defining at the rate transactional annotation nothing but either both the transactions should be successful or both the transactions should be fail. So if you specify at the rate transactional, let's assume if you don't specify at the rate transactional, then there is a chances of whether one if any one is fail, one is success, then that transaction will be invalid transaction. If both are success, then the transaction will be successful transaction. If one is success, another one is fail, and for example step 1 is success, step 2 is fail, and step 1 is failed and step 2 is success, that time this transaction will be invalid. So to overcome that problem, so we have a at the rate transactional annotation to maintain consistency of transaction, whether both should be success, whether both should be fail. So we need to specify where the rate transactional to make it whether all are succeed or all are fail. If you don't specify, either there is a chance of one is success and another one is fail, so that time invalid transaction. So now you got it right. What is the importance of at the rate transactional annotation? I hope you guys understood what is the importance of at the rate transactional annotation. Okay, so in next lecture, I will go step by step, guys. In next lecture, I will explain you what are all the properties available in transaction management and what are all the problems are available in transaction management and how we are going to resolve those problems in transaction management. Okay, guys. So if you are all watching newly, so you can subscribe my channel www.youtube.com/Rasul -shake /playlist. Okay, so then go to the channel and you can subscribe to watch all the videos. So my channel name will be Java Cafeteria. So it has Spring Boot videos, and I'm going to upload Angular JS microservices and JPA and and Mockito framework. So all the concept I am going to cover in this channel. Okay, so you guys can subscribe and you can learn one by one. I have explained in very step by very clear and very simple manner. Okay, guys, so if you like the video, you can subscribe and you can share. Okay, thank you guys. I will catch you in next lecture.